Hey all, welcome back to this beautiful day. It is January, but today it's about 70 degrees in lovely Colorado. We might be having some chilly weather coming up after this, so I am enjoying it right now, for sure. So today I am working on a few different things. I am going to be applying for a job, fingers crossed, and then I also actually got hired to do a short-term project through Upwork, so I am going to be sending them my ideas to create TikTok videos and let them pick which ones they like best, and then I will be going with those. So let's dive in. So this week has been a little bit of a challenge just because I came down with a cold, so I've been basically trying to keep up with everything that I need to get done, looking for other jobs, things like that, but also trying to take care of myself so that I don't get too sick, because it was just enough to be annoying. But I think overall I've done pretty well, making sure that I get a lot accomplished, but also taking lots of vitamins, drinking lots of water and tea, things like that. At work, we also celebrated just my going away. So we all went out and got some drinks and some food recently, so that was really nice. It was just really pleasant to hang out with everyone and to joke, and also kind of nice because I didn't feel like the pressure of being professional was there, at least for me. I mean, obviously I'm not gonna go crazy, but it was just a very casual hangout, got some good food, and kind of a nice little going away. We actually got food at a place called Vital Root, which if you live in Denver and if you have any type of food allergies or sensitivities or you're vegan or anything like that, I would definitely go check that out. That place is really good about catering to any type of special dietary needs, and also the food is amazing. It is so good. You could be eating a vegan meal and it just doesn't even matter because there's so much flavor there. So it's great also if you have anybody in your group who does not have dietary needs, because they're still going to get food that they really enjoy. So I also want to take a second and talk about something that I know a lot of people tend to struggle with or they have questions about, and that is how to apply for jobs, specifically relating to the resume and the cover letter. Because it's all writing, I have always found it a little bit easy, but I understand where people can get stuck on it and it can be kind of overwhelming. So the things that I would definitely recommend is when you are doing your resume and cover letter, read the job description. Obviously that seems like a no-brainer, and yet, but you want to make sure that you have the things that are in the job description in your resume and cover letter, and that goes down to even specific words. So if they are looking for somebody who is experienced in communicating with customers via email, phone, and online chat, if you've done those things, you need to put that phrase in there. As far as your cover letter goes, also an important place to put phrases in, and just make sure that you are paying attention to the company and the job itself. I also find it really useful to go into their website and take a look at basically the About Me page or the About Us page and see what they stand for, because that's also a good place to find wordage that you can put into your cover letter. If they read your cover letter and it sounds like you are pretty much the same minded as the company is, that's going to get you some bonus points. I don't know, just you want to be the best fit you can for that company, so that's going to be a really great way to show that you are. Another tip that I recommend, and this one can be a little bit more challenging just depending on the size of the company and how close to home they keep their information, but if you can figure out the name of the person who's going to be handling the hiring, then I would definitely on that cover letter put their name instead of "Dear Hiring Manager" or "To whom it may concern." It's always going to look better, and it shows that you actually invested some time and effort into figuring out who was handling that process. If you can't figure it out, then there's only so much that you can do, and obviously "Dear Hiring Manager" or "To whom it may concern" are going to be your best alternatives, but if you can figure it out, LinkedIn is a great resource. You can always take a look at wherever you found the job description. Sometimes it'll show the name there. I've looked through Facebook before, I believe. So you have to get a little stalkerish, but just if you can find that name, it's cherry on top. Now to go a little more in depth into my resume, what I actually try to make sure that I have is I've got obviously my work experience, and I will list my different responsibilities and regular tasks on there, as well as my achievements. So for example, in my previous position, I was awarded an award in 2018 for exemplifying the company core values. So I made sure to put that, and I actually put it in 2 different places. So it is in work experience, and then there's also another section on the side of my resume for achievements, where I have listed that as well, because I feel that that's important. I definitely want them to see it. The other things that I think are important in your work experience is try to use different words. So this is where thesaurus.com is going to be very helpful, because obviously you don't want to use the word management a billion times, because that is a catch-all word. It can be used for a lot of things, but people are going to get tired of reading it, and it's not necessarily going to convey your ability to write professionally or just keep their interest, honestly. I would also put, if you have been in sales or anything that you can put in that is statistical, I would put that in there as well. People love to see numbers in resumes because it's going to give them hard facts of how many sales you've done or how many of different things that you have accomplished. Definitely an important thing to put in there. The next section that I also have a little summary, which is just a quick at a glance about me. I have a little bit of a joke in there just to show that I do have a sense of humor. I'm trying to convey a little bit of personality so that they maybe think I might be a good fit. It just kind of depends. Obviously, some people probably don't prefer that, and it depends on the job that you're applying for. However, most of the jobs that I am applying for, I want to let them know that I do have a personality and a sense of humor, and that I will be able to work well with not only the team, but also any of their clients or customers. I have also listed how many years in each thing that I have. So for example, I've had over 10 years of experience with customer service and customer experience, so I put 10 plus years of that. I have 5 plus years of copywriting and content creation overall, so I did list that as well, so on and so forth. These can be kind of catch-all, so obviously some of those are going to include my very beginning experience when I didn't do necessarily as much as I can do now, but just make sure that you show them, yes, I have been doing this. I do have this experience backing it up. I've got obviously my contact info. Make sure you put your phone number on there. I realized a little while ago that I had been sending out some resumes without my phone number. Ultimately, we live in a day and an age where you put your phone number somewhere else in the application process, but when I realized that, I was kicking myself so hard. I also have, because some of the jobs that I am looking at are going to be content creation, copywriting, things like that, I've also put my social media and things like that on there. If you are not going to be doing a position or applying for a position that requires people to see your work, that's not as important to include. And you might actually not want to include that. I have also put, because some of my experience does deal with customers and things like that, I've put testimonials from customers and clients on my side of my thing. This is why, if you saw my last video, my resume is a little dense. It's because I have included so much, but I want to make sure that I provide as much information to anyone who's looking at my resume as possible. So I have the testimonials on there. I also have a recommendation from a coworker, which I did take an excerpt, and right under my name, I've got 3 words, and I took, he said that I was adaptive, innovative, and driven. So I just took those, and that's my little summary line under my name. And then I've got my references listed, as well as education, and then skills and software. Anymore, it's really important to include your software because everybody is getting a lot more technology savvy, and it's good to say that you've had experience with different things. If you don't know what something is, Google it, because you might have experience working with that particular thing. I've noticed a lot of companies require SaaS experience, SaaS. There's a good chance you may actually have worked with some SaaS. You may not have worked in a company specifically for that, but if you've used it, you at least have a comprehension of what that is and how it works. So definitely check out all of that. And then if you have experience with SaaS, put that on your resume, because that is becoming so big right now that that can only help. So that's kind of how I break down my resume. You might include other things, you might not include certain things. For me, I'm still close enough to education that it is definitely important to put, you know, my GPA is on there, that sort of thing. But I'm getting to the point where that might not be as important. It might just be important to show that I graduated from there. For my references, I also include who these people are. So I have two supervisors listed. I've marked them as such. One's a previous supervisor, one is still a current supervisor for a little bit. And then I also have my coworker who wrote my recommendation on there. So if they have any further questions, or if they want to confirm that he did in fact write that recommendation, they can always reach out to him as well. So that's kind of the gist of it. If you do have any questions or anything about what else I might include on my resume, feel free to leave them below in the comments, and maybe I'll make another video going into that a little bit more. But hopefully that helps you in your search. Hopefully it helps me in my search. Hopefully it helps all of us. But yeah. If you like this video, if you feel like it was helpful at all, feel free to give it a like, a little thumbs up down there. That definitely helps me. And then I am trying to get to the point where I can monetize this channel, but ultimately I just want to keep creating videos because I actually am really enjoying myself. So if you want to see more in the future, go subscribe, and they're not all going to be informational like this. Some are going to be more fun, some are going to be laid back. It's just a whole wide range because I want to see what you guys like, and then I will start to create more videos like that. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time.